who's ready to dive into the archive with our Ty Roswell in this week's iteration of Retrospect. We start this week in 1994. As the weather begins to cool, we take a look at ways to prevent heat loss in homes.
There are a few simple things homeowners can do to make sure heat loss is kept at a minimum over the winter.
Basically, I guess take your filter and change them, especially at the beginning of the heating season. You should take it out and probably throw it away and change it, or if you have the washable type of filter, make sure that it's washed and cleaned, dried, and put back into place.
Although Noble says every furnace should be checked once a year by a professional, he says keeping an eye on your filters and belts is an easy way to prevent problems down the road.
To check your belt yourself, you just take it, you turn it inside out, and then just go around the outside of it like that, and make sure that there's no cracks in this area here. If there are cracks, well, I recommend that you change them right away, because what could happen is it would break, number one, and then 9 times out of 10 they break at night, you know, because that's when they're used the most. And just replace it with basically the same number that's on the belt, and that's where you see the number right there.
And these simple checks can actually save you money.
You definitely can lose the efficiency of a furnace by not changing your filter, because it's starving for air, you know, to circulate the air, so you're going to burn more gas. So basically, I guess the big thing is to make sure that your filter's clean.
Noble says keeping your furnace in top working order and making sure all your windows and doors are properly sealed is an environmentally friendly way to make winter a little easier.
And in 1998, the Lions Quest program promotes positive attitudes and morals in children.
Reading, writing, arithmetic, and responsibility. That is the theme behind the Lions Quest program. It is designed to promote positive social attitudes in children while at the same time preventing negative behaviors such as drugs and violence. But the idea behind this initiative is to teach these values to more than just the children.
It will help, I think, the kids develop self-esteem and how to get along with other people. This will evolve as time goes along into the parent factor and work all the way back down and up through the system. So overall we come up with a better group of people, I think, in the Lloydminster district.
The program is now in place in most of Lloydminster's schools, which means many border city teachers are busy with training seminars to learn how to put their new skills to use.
And what the sessions are intended to do is to give the teachers a working knowledge of the programs themselves, and also explain to them that it's not just a curriculum, that the program is much more than that.
The hope is that through the schools and with community involvement, today's youth will become responsible, caring adults. So now the teachers can return to their classrooms and use their unique teaching tools to make a difference.
A lot of the things you can use, it's set out to use in different subject areas. So for example, this morning we did some work on listening skills. Well, that can be integrated, a lesson that can be taught and integrated throughout the whole day. The lessons have applications in math and phys ed and music, and so you can integrate it through the whole day. And I'm going to try and do a lot of that if I can.
And that's it for this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.
Well, it is the talk of the city, whether we like it or not. Snowfall is here.
Yes, it is officially here. We've gone a little bit, a lot more areas in both provinces down south. They're under snowfall warnings. We are not at that point yet.
Still dusting the cars off, though.
But still dusting cars off, which I wasn't very thrilled about, as I understand a lot of people weren't. And hopefully people are starting to get their winter tires put on. I did that over the weekend, and I'm glad that I did. So tire places are going to become extremely busy very fast. But we are in officially snowy weather. -3 here in Lloydminster. We haven't seen too much snowfall as of yet. Only a little bit of flurries here and there, so that's always nice to hold on to. That wind, however, coming in at 19 kilometers per hour, so with that wind chill, it feels closer to -9, so definitely very cold. And then across the regions, we're now seeing all those negative numbers, whereas we've been seeing a lot of high positive numbers. We're now below 0. -3 in Cold Lake, Marwayne, Vermilion, and down in Provost. -4 in Wainwright, Vegreville, St. Paul, Bonnyville, and Lac La Biche, and -5 out in Edmonton. And then on the Saskatchewan side, Isle Cross, Pierceland, Maidstone, and Macklin, both all sitting at -3. -2 in North Battleford, Meadow Lake, and Green Lake, and -4 out in St. Walburg. And now that snowfall warning is pretty much everything south of North Battleford and south of Edmonton are under the snowfall warning. So we're good up here, but anywhere south of those 2 places under snowfall warning, and below south of Saskatoon as well. Overnight tonight in North Battleford, it'll drop down to -6. Lots of cloud coverage and a little bit of snow at times, but not a huge amount accumulating overnight. So I don't think a lot will stick onto the actual ground. And then tomorrow, then it kind of picks up to about 3 to 6 centimeters is predicted to fall tomorrow, and it'll be very cold. -1 will be the daytime high. However, there will be some sun throughout the day as well, so that's still something to look forward to. Overnight tonight in Cold Lake, overcast and very cold. -9 will be your overnight temperature for Cold Lake. And then tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud. However, don't let that sun deter you. It will still be cold at -3 as the daytime high. So, but it will be nice to see that sun. Overnight tonight in Lloydminster, -8, plenty of clouds, and the occasional snowfall were predicted to about 2 to 4 centimeters to fall. And then over tomorrow, over the course of the day, -8 will be in the morning, and that's when most of the flurries will come in. And then we'll start to get some more sun throughout the day. Around recess time, it will be -7, -5 around lunchtime with a mix of sun and cloud. And then it should be pretty sunny at days out around 3 p.m. -3 will be your temperature and will be quite sunny. However, it will still be quite cold with that wind at 19 kilometers per hour. And then over the next 3 days, like I said, -3 will be your daytime high, and then we'll drop down to -10 overnight. On Wednesday, expect plenty of sun. However, it will still be very cold at -3 with a low of -10. And then on Thursday, we get right back into those cloudy conditions with a high of -2 and a low of -8. That is your first look at your evening weather forecast. I'll have more of your overnight temperatures later on in the show.
Thank you, Abby. Coming up after the break, more rallies are sprouting up from the Saskatchewan Parents' Bill of Rights. The Lloydminster Bobcats took on the Camrose Kodiaks for their last home game of October this past Saturday. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
The Bobcats were looking to bounce back after dropping 2 games earlier in the week to the Saints and the Pontiacs. It was a tight matchup early as both teams were unsuccessful on their first chances on the power play. But then, just over halfway through the first, the captain, Caden Cabana, would put the Bobcats on the board, and just 1 minute later, the Bobcats would grab another. That hard-working goal for Luke Fritz would give the Bobcats momentum into the second period, where Benacoyan would get 2 goals early in the first. Bradley Gallo would put the Kodiaks on the board, but the Bobcats would answer right back. Jock, with his second goal on the season, would make it a 5-1 game. And then finally in the third, Jackson Hopka would get his first goal of the season and would lead to a 6-1 victory for the Bobcats. And the team was very happy with the 2 power play goals on the night.
Just zipped it around. I mean, I think our power play is struggling a little bit, and I think we need to prioritize shooting. And yeah, D-Mac rolled nice and got the puck to me, and I decided, hey, why not shoot it? And thankfully it went in, so I was happy to get that one.
Another positive of this game was goaltender Caden Kirkwood, who turned away 30 of 31 shots in his first ever AJHL start.
I thought it was great. I thought the whole team played great in front of me. They made it real easy on me. obviously with the penalty kill, they did a great job blocking shots and getting it out, and yeah, I can't thank them enough.
The Bobcats will get a week break, but will then head down south for 3 games to finish out the month of October. Thomas Wildman, Primetime, local news.
Today I'm joined by Jordan Pryor, the Associate Director of Brand for Cornerstone Co-op, and she is here today to talk about the Co-op Growing Leaders Program, which is in association with 4-H Alberta. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Jordan.
You are so welcome.
And so Jordan, tell me about the Co-op Growing Leaders Program and where it kind of started and what it's going to look like for the 2023-24 4-H season.
Yeah, so back in 2021, 2022, post-COVID, we noticed that 4-H groups or clubs were kind of struggling when it came to membership. Coming out of COVID, people just weren't either wanting to join 4-H or some of the clubs were actually closing, unfortunately. And as someone who was in 4-H for 11 years, that was heartbreaking, and I really wanted to do something for them. So we kind of thought, what avenue can we explore? And I was like, how cool would it be if we sponsored any new member going into 4-H so that it kind of removes that barrier or excuse to want to join, because it's such an amazing program for youth. And there's different levels of registration too. So there's club level, there's district, there's provincial. So we sponsor all of the above just to get the kids in. And we put a social media post out there, and it went viral. It got over 100 shares. And we had clubs reaching out to us that were like, this is amazing. To the point where we actually had one club that signed up 9 new members. I think it was Murnum or Innisfree, a very small town, small community. So that was amazing. And then what had happened is 4-H Alberta, we kind of just did this on our own on a Cornerstone level. And 4-H Alberta got word of it and called us and was like, hey, this is an amazing program that you guys started, to the point where we're getting notified about it. Would you like to partner for the following year? And we're like, of course we would. And so we were like, actually, let's put it out to Federated Co-op to get us to help to talk to other regional local Alberta co-ops and see who else would like to partner on board for 2023, 2024. So we had a bunch of meetings, we met with everybody, and we built this beautiful partnership. It's just starting with 4 or 5 other local co-ops, 6 including Cornerstone. So we partnered with 6 local co-ops, Federated Co-op out of Saskatoon, and 4-H Alberta to bring the sponsorship level to a gold sponsor of $50,000 to spend on this new Co-op Growing Leaders program, which is something we did not ever see coming and is amazing. And then going forward, so we're currently we have applications open right now until November 20th, just because lots of the kids, especially being in a rural setting, they're still figuring out what kind of calves they want to have. Their weigh days are in November. That's why we made it until November 20th. And then we're going to have a review meeting and see what we can do, what's working and what we can make better for 2024. And going into next year, we're hoping to build that sponsorship and hopefully even go above and beyond to $100,000 level sponsorship eventually, is what that looks like. One more thing that I would just like to mention is the other local co-ops that we partnered with this year. So there's Arrowwood Co-op, Central Alberta Co-op, Pembina Co-op, Pincher Creek Co-op, and Westview Co-op that have partnered with us on the local Alberta co-op level.
And so, Jordan, what are the boundaries going to be for those in the Cornerstone Co-op kind of region in order for them to be able to receive the payment for their first-time membership?
Our trading area goes all the way from St. Paul and surrounding area down all the way down to Provost. Then you have Vermilion, Wainwright, Elk Point, Two Hills, Dewberry, and Manville. So we have a pretty healthy budget so far. So if they're just on the outskirts of that trading area, we're still going to sponsor them. So.
And Jordan, you mentioned 4-H calves, which would of course be the beef program, but are all programs in 4-H going to be included in this program?
Not sure how clubs work nowadays, but when I was in 4-H, you could literally join any 4-H project. And so that can include like snowmobiling or dog or cat or hamster 4-H. So any kind of project will help you with your registration fees.
And if there are some youth that are interested in getting involved in 4-H, where can they go to get more info about joining a 4-H club as well as taking advantage of this amazing program?
Yeah, they can go to get more information on our Co-op Growing Leaders program. They can go to our Cornerstone Co-op website, or they can email jordan.pryor@cornerstone.crs. There is, if you check out our social media, specifically our Facebook page, we have the link where you would go and fill out all your details and sign up. And all that information actually through that Google form goes directly to myself and 4-H Alberta. So we automatically see who signed up and we take care of your registration fees from there.
Thank you so much for all the information today, Jordan, and hopefully we will see a lot more new 4-H members this coming up year.
You are so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
We are here with frontman Drew Shulka of the Edmonton-based four-piece pop band FKB. Now, I am so excited to talk to you, Drew, all about your guys' new song, Colorblind, that just came out. But first, we got to get to know you guys a little bit better. You are fairly new to our station here, and you're actually from this area as well. So tell us a little bit about FKB.
Well, thanks so much for having me on today. FKB, we formed in Bonnyville, Alberta, not very far from there at all. And we've been performing since 2009. We started out doing just local shows around the Lakeland area, doing car shows and all sorts of that. Beatles, Beach Boys, Elvis was kind of our initial run. And then we started making pop music and rock and trying to make our own sound and really dig into all those artists we loved from the past and bring it to the modern internet age and see what kind of things we could come up with.
For sure. And you guys, I've gotten to know you through your great glam rock. That's what I like to think of it as. And it's wonderful. So you guys are going to be also bringing that to a few stages this November. You're going on tour with Mono Whales.
We are, yes. We'll be playing on the Alberta leg of their tour. We're doing Grand Prairie on November 22nd, Edmonton on November 23rd, Banff on November 24th, and then Calgary on November 25th with them.
That's going to be a really, really fun way to see you guys. You guys are fantastic on stage, by the way. I did see you guys when you were with Clayton Bellamy and the congregation back in February at the Vic Juba. So for those who haven't seen you guys, tell us a bit about a show of yours. What can we expect on stage?
We love to engage the audience. We love to make them part of the show. Part of our whole thing is we want to make it an event. We want to make the whole show an experience. So we work a lot on our live stage show and choreography and making it fun for everybody. We want to pull people out of whatever they're doing during the day and really bring them in the evening to what we're doing.
Do you have any shows that really stand out that are super memorable for you?
There's been so many. Like every place we play is always memorable. Like we love playing the Vic Juba, the whole crew there and everybody. It was just such a polished professional venue, and it was great having all their help and just them taking care of us all day. So that was a lot of fun. Us when we were in Lloydminster. On tour, there's so many like all over. One that was really cool was playing History in Toronto because that's a new venue. It's very, very nice, and you have to go through it. We had to go through security to get in the back door, which was kind of cool with metal detectors. And I mean, some others like we've played some of the hockey games at Rogers out in the Molson Hockey House before the game and hometown hockey out in the plaza there, and that's always cool getting to be in the arena and getting to come in the back door and feel special while we play that.
It sounds like you guys have had some really great experiences, and that is so exciting because you guys put on an amazing show. So, before we talk about Colorblind here, tell us where can everybody find those tickets to go see you guys with Mono Whales?
So you can find them at our website, fkbmusic.ca, or you can find them at Monowhale's website, monowhales.com/tour. The tickets are all available through either of us, and it all links back to the venues to buy them.
Super easy, super easy. Well, Colorblind, it is your latest release to streaming services, and I absolutely love this song so much. Tell us more about it, how it came to be, and where can everybody find it?
So Colorblind, it's available everywhere. You can find it on Apple, Amazon Music, Spotify, anywhere you're listening to music, it is there. That one, it came about during the pandemic. I was writing a lot with this woman named Christine Sherrington, and she goes by the artist name Chris Sloan as well. And she was living in Whistler at the time, so we were doing a lot of Zoom writes, and we worked on so many songs during the pandemic. And this was one that we just started writing. I kind of had this initial musical idea, and but not really a direction for it. And then she had these lyrics that just were so bright and fun that it just worked out so great that we were able to make this song. And then I just continued working on it throughout the pandemic, and just finishing it up, and then we had it done. And it was kind of one of the ones that we felt that we really enjoyed listening to. So that's how it came to be.
Tell us a bit about the story behind this song and the lyrics.
So the lyrics, they were kind of about the whole idea of just being a little bit lost in a malaise until somebody kind of snaps you out of it, like getting caught up in just kind of, I don't know, life where it just kind of drags you down a little bit, and you're a little bit lost in all the beauty happening around you. And that was kind of the idea with the song, was it would have this dark verse, and it would have this kind of musically, it would be a little bit not sad but not quite happy either in the verses. And then by the time it would hit the chorus, it would just be like a totally different song. And it was kind of a challenge making it happen. It was interesting trying to make it, the chords and everything, work together, and transition into each other, where they would sound kind of a different feel in each section.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today about FKB going on tour with Mono Whales, your song Colorblind. Is there anything else you want to mention or talk about today?
No, I think you covered the main things we're up to right now.
Awesome, Drew. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me on.
We've got one last story before we finish up the show today. On Saturday, the Calgary Zoo hosted its first teddy bear clinic. For a $5 donation, kids could bring in their favorite stuffed animal for a checkup. The zoo's animal health experts and volunteers then do a stuffy intake and triage stitch-up patients who need it, and provide custom prescriptions such as hugs and bedtime reading. The goal is to show kids the importance of regular medical care for people and animals.
I think this is such a cute idea. You know, it gets the kids really involved, and you know, a big part of childhood is your stuffed animals. I think that's a massive part of childhood. So having this idea and getting kids, you know, giving them more knowledge on how they can take care of their real pets, and maybe if they have friends who get scraped up, they can.
They'll have that knowledge.
They'll have
with
that
them,
knowledge.
and it's just so good that kids have those stuffed animals, and they carry with them for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
And it's just so nice to have that for them.
And the zoo also gets to raise money too.
Exactly. So it's just a very good cause. That is all the time we have for you on Primetime Local News. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.